Hello, church family. This month we are embarking on a sermon series where we are looking at the meals our Heavenly Father provides for us. And so we are gathering for worship and at the table of the Lord, enjoying and embarking on understanding all of those meals that God provides from Genesis to Revelation. And so it has been a fun discussion and series that we are embarking on. This past Sunday, one of the key things we focused on was the gift of enjoying a meal around the table. And the gift comes in the form of fellowship and conversations. It comes in the form of laughter and fun. And it really comes when we see and experience the community that is built around the table. As a church family, I would encourage you to gather around the table in the coming weeks ahead and months ahead to enjoy meal and conversation and fellowship with those maybe you haven't enjoyed a meal and fellowship with before. I would invite you to be intentional about inviting a family or an individual or a couple to your house to enjoy a meal. Maybe you're not sure where to begin, and so maybe inviting a coworker to lunch so you can get to know their story or hear their story and share in a meal with them. Or if you're still not sure where to begin, I would invite you to join the youth on a Sunday evening for their meal. Gather around the table, listen to what's important to them, and hear their heart. What a wonderful way to begin our journey around the table. Or maybe still you're not sure, and so maybe joining with the Stepping Stones ladies and children for a meal with them, hearing their struggles, hearing their stories, and rejoicing with them in the ways in which God has provided. What a wonderful way to begin having conversation around the table and enjoying a meal together. I'm going to invite you and challenge you to be intentional and gather around the table this month, but in the coming months ahead, because community is important. And when we gather around a table to enjoy a meal together, that community enriches our life. This past Sunday, we had the opportunity to gather around the communion table to enjoy the gift of love and grace that God gives to us. As people who gather around the table, God also asks us to extend the table to those who cannot gather. What do I mean by that? I know we have some individuals in our church family who are homebound and unable to physically attend worship. Many of them are attending worship online and worshiping with us in that way. But what a wonderful blessing that God invites us to partake in when we extend the table of communion with them and sharing in the bounty of communion that God has for us. If you are someone who is homebound and cannot physically attend worship in person, but would love to have communion brought to you every first Sunday of the month after the gathered body partakes of communion, we would invite you to call the church office and let us know that you are interested in that, or we would invite you to fill out the form that'll be listed after this video. We would love to begin a ministry of bringing communion to those who cannot physically get here. And if you are someone who longs to be the hands and feet of Christ, who is willing to extend the table to another, I would invite you to do the same. Would you fill out the form listed below the video, or would you call the church office and let us know that you are willing to go and to sit around a table with others and share the gift of communion with them? This week, we will continue gathering around the table for another one of those heavenly meals that God provides. This week, we will be looking at the Passover meal. So I look forward to seeing everyone in worship, but I would also invite you to invite a friend to gather in worship with you and then take them to lunch as a seamless step of gathering around the table. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and I hope you're having a great week. God bless.